The first group were volunteers, and they were under Stephen at Boston.
Wow, way to go.
Way to go, JJ. When did Texas become a state?
Also 1845.
No, see, when do,
I mean, it was
I don't
independence.
know that. We celebrate every year.
It was under 5 flags. Hey, Stella, we give out mugs. If you could just get me an original Samuel Colt pistol and box that dude up, put a lot of peanuts in there, a lot of packing thing, and send that to me for knowing that. I mean, for the good guess.
Yeah.
That would suffice.
An original. I'm sure it would.
No, I guess.
Texas became a state in 1845. So the Rangers, to answer my own question, Texas Rangers existed prior to Texas even becoming a state.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Excellent.
And really, they haven't been good since Nolan Ryan. If you think about it, you know what I'm saying?
We're all over.
They've had a couple of good years, but
Ford Ranger,
not anything.
Nolan Ryan, the real Texas Rangers. Oh my word!
All right, Stella.
Thank you,
for calling.
Stella. Hey, in all serious, what an amazing, group
Tradition.
of
So the
Bosnian
Texas
tradition.
Rangers still exist?
I think they do.
I think they do.
Are they the
You
state
don't believe it?
police?
Ask
Or?
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, I think they are the state police, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you just asked Chuck Norris. If you
Oh,
have
that's
any
right.
doubt.
Chuck, yeah, Walker, Texas Rangers.
That's right.
All right.
We got time for one more call.
All right, we go to Louisiana, and Cynthia is on the line. Cynthia, welcome to Trivia Friday. We are kind of up against the end of the program, so would you like to ask, answer, or do both?
Ask a question since we're out of time.
I'm sorry, what?
Are you okay?
Yes, ma'am. Which question
Can
you
you
want to
hear me
answer?
okay?
Yes, we can. Which question you want to answer?
I think I'll just ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, and I wanted to say that I got to meet JJ a long time ago, about 5 years ago. He was supposed to stay, he and his family were supposed to stay at our house, but because we have a cat, they weren't able to, and I never resented that cat so much. It was a useless cat.
My wife is deathly allergic to cats.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, where was
I
that?
just don't like them.
That was DeRidder, Louisiana. You
Oh,
spoke
that's
at our
right.
church.
Yes.
We loved you so much. It was just such
Yeah.
joy, and you were hilarious.
You need to go
And
back.
we continue to have cat problems. The other night, I took the cat's medicine by accident. Yeah.
Hey,
Oh, you're breaking up.
Cynthia, yeah, you are breaking up, and we are right against the end of the program. Go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. So where are 83% of the campers made in the United States?
83% of the
Wow,
campers.
made in one place.
Do we have to have the town or just the state?
We're out of
better
time. We got to
tell
do
us.
our own answers.
Yeah.
Louisiana.
Elkhart, Indiana.
Wow.
Elkhart,
That's good
Indiana.
to
I'm
know.
gonna look that up.
Hey, listen, I want to come back to DeRidder. Wonderful people, wonderful place. Thank you.
Sorry we got to rush here.
All right. My three sons originally had 3. Folks, it was easy right there. The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet was the longest running live action sitcom in American history. That was the mystery question. And the Rubik's Cube was invented in Hungary.
Biggest Columbus city. Where?
Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
And then the Christopher Columbus, true or false? It was true.
It is true.
100% true. As zany and wacky as it sounds.
All right, everybody.
Hey, can I make mention next Thursday I'm going to be at Vicksburg, Mississippi for the Center for Pregnancy Choices Crossway Church. That's next Thursday night.
My wife's aunt passed away, and we received a considerable inheritance from that. We heard on American Family Radio about the opportunity to participate in a charitable gift annuity. We talked to the people at AFA Foundation, Riley, Chelsea, and their crew that they work with, and they were very caring, very easy to work with, and with no pressure whatsoever. They guided us through the process and made it a very easy thing to do.
See if a charitable gift annuity is right for you. Call the AFA Foundation at 800-326-4543, extension 345. That's 800-326-4543, extension 345.
What excites us about the charitable gift annuity is we will always have income coming in. It will be steady. We won't outlive it.
The AFA Foundation, the Financial Stewardship Division of the American Family Association.
And my father, your great-grandfather, fought in World War II.
Really?
He was a gunner on the big ship out in the Pacific Ocean.
Wow.
Your great-grandmother did her part, too.
Was she on a ship?
Oh, no. She stayed back home. She and a lot of her friends worked really hard in a factory because the men had gone off to war.
Ooh.
And they held scrap metal drives to help in the war effort. The folks back home were heroes, too.
Here at the American Family Association, we consider you the heroes back home. As you fulfill your responsibility of caring for your family day to day, your partnership with us is crucial as we fight the enemies of freedom in America. Thank you for your commitment to the American Family Association.
Grandpa, what's a scrap metal drive?
Let's get some cookies, and I'll tell you all about it.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
I had numerous credit cards, and I was struggling with paying them off.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-788-1813 to talk to a certified counselor.
I had heard about Trinity, so I made the call. They took care of all of my credit cards, and now I am completely debt-free.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
The people at Trinity are very friendly. They will do whatever you need them to do in order for you to feel better about being in a very difficult place.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-788-1813.
My name is Ann, and I'm debt-free for keeps.
1-800-788-1813.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is Medi-Share. And maybe you've heard switching to Medi-Share to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true people are way more satisfied after making the switch too. The member satisfaction rate for Medi-Share is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medi-Share works. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. See what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 833-44-BIBLE. That's 833-44-BIBLE. 833-44-BIBLE.
Hi, this is Steve Tiber with 8 Days of Hope. Do you know over the last 18 years, 50,000 volunteers have served over 9,000 families in the aftermath of natural disasters. We've also renovated and rebuilt facilities to bring hope and healing to those rescued from sex trafficking. At 8 Days of Hope, we travel coast to coast in the name of Jesus and minister to the brokenhearted. Our national headquarters is located in Tupelo, Mississippi, our Northeast satellite in Buffalo, New York, and we have a Midwest satellite in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. God has provided 3 facilities for us to house equipment and be able to respond on a moment's notice to serve those in need. 8 Days of Hope is launching a new arm of the ministry, mass feeding. This division of 8 Days of Hope will take trained volunteers with multiple feeding trailers and be able to provide over 8,000 meals every 2 hours through a local church following a disaster. To learn more about 8 Days of Hope or to join our volunteer team, please go to 8daysofhope.com. That's 8daysofhope.com.
Facing a seemingly impossible task, when should you take action? If after you have spent time fasting and praying, you still have fear, does that mean you should wait? That you need to pray more? You're not trusting God? We'll hear the answers today on Truth for Life as Alistair Begg takes us to the book of Nehemiah. We're in chapter 1, verse 5.
Now, I want for a moment this morning to consider this prayer with you as it is there for us in chapter 1, and then to move immediately into chapter 2. One of the questions that is often asked, especially by younger believers, is how do you pray? Well, one of the things that has been helpful to many of us, and certainly in my life, I've used it since I was smaller, is to use the little acronym or acrostic ACTS, A-C-T-S. And the 4 words that build from it: adoration, confession, thanksgiving, and supplication. And I want to show you from this prayer that the ACTS acronym works in relationship to Nehemiah's prayer. The 4th element in prayer is what we refer to as supplication. That's the S in the word ACTS: adoration, confession, thanksgiving, and supplication. And his supplication comes in verse 11. O Lord, let your ear be attentive to the prayer of this your servant, and to the prayer of your servants who delight in revering your name. And here it comes. It is as bold as it is specific, and it is as reverent as it is clear. Give your servant success today by granting him favor in the presence of this man. He asks specifically that God will give him favor in the presence of his boss. I have this boss. I'm going to talk to my boss the first chance I get. And Lord, I'm talking to you first to see if you couldn't be at work in his life, because I know that would make a big difference. However, if we do not believe that God is able to work in the heart of a pagan king or in the mind of a pagan boss, then we will be on our feet all the time in human ingenuity, trying to find ways to make it happen. But when we truly trust in God, we can shut up on our feet and open up on our knees, so that we will discover that God moves man through prayer. When I don't believe that he moves man through prayer, I will be constantly on my feet trying to move man myself. It's a great challenge for our church. Now, there is an obvious link between the length of time that Nehemiah takes seeking the face of God, and then the specific way in which he approaches the face of Artaxerxes. And what I'd like to do is give you just 5 words now that charts our progress through the first 10 verses of chapter 2. Verse 1 of chapter 2 reads, "In the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of King Artaxerxes." What in the world does that mean? You read one of those phrases and you say, so now that's good. In the month of Nisan sounds like a car. In the 20th year of King Artaxerxes, what does that mean? I haven't the foggiest idea. Let me tell you what it means. You can write across your Bible, 1 day in April, 4 months later. Now this is significant, because it reminds us of the amount of time that Nehemiah has been prepared to stay in the waiting room. He's obviously a very purposeful kind of character, but he recognizes that unless he waits upon the Lord, he will never renew his strength. Unless he waits upon the Lord, he will never mount up with wings as eagles. Unless he waits upon the Lord, he will never run and not be weary. Unless he waits upon the Lord, he will never walk and not be faint. Lord, I want to walk and not be faint. I don't want to wait upon you. Lord, I want to fly like an eagle. I don't want to wait upon you. Lord, I want to be able to soar up on the hills, but I don't want to wait upon you. The Lord says, you can't do it. Some of the things that we face as a church family are so elementary. They are so obvious. And fundamental at the heart of it all is this: we can go no further than our dependent commitment to God in prayer. It is fixed with God that a work which is not founded upon prayer will never be accomplished. Okay? But with God, all things are possible. Now, 4 months later, he comes before the king. He's doing his thing, which is bringing out the drinks. You know what his job is? He's the cupbearer. He gets a little drink of everything that the king and the queen are going to drink, which is good insofar as the stuff is good. If, of course, it happens to be poisoned, Nehemiah is in deep trouble, but long live the king. That's the way it's supposed to go. As I've said, it's a great job for someone who likes culinary things and a high-risk experience, because that's exactly what it is. He takes the wine in and he gives it to the king. And notice this little phrase at the end of verse 1, "I had not been sad in his presence before." How long have you been working in your present job? Every single day you've gone into your job, have you ever looked like really bad? I mean, have you ever been, your secretary said, so what is wrong with you, Mr. X or Miss X or Mrs. X? And you just look like nothing on earth. Or are you a very joyful person? Do you go about your business daily, happily, thankfully, joyfully, prayerfully? Nehemiah obviously did. A long time in the service, and he had never once looked sad in front of the king. Now, there was a good reason not to look sad in front of the king, in fairness to ourselves, because if you look sad as a cupbearer, that may be an indication of a sinister plot. It may be that you're looking pained in your face, because as you give him the stuff, you know he gets it, he's gone. And so the king would look at the cupbearer's eyes very carefully, make sure that he wasn't reading any funny business in his eyes, because if he had sad eyes, there may be a sinister plot, and a sinister plot, you get this. So he had never been sad in the king's presence, but he was sad today. So the king conducts an investigation. That's the first of 5 words. These are very brief. Relax. Word 1, investigation. Look at it in verse 2. So the king asked me, why does your face look sad when you're not ill? Okay, that's the first thing. You come down, you got this white face. You don't look really good. Question, are you ill? Answer, no, I'm not ill. Well then, if you're not ill, what's wrong with you? It's got to be something inside of you that's making you look like this on the outside. And it was. There's something in that's coming out. You go in your office, you can read people's insides without taking x-rays on the basis of what's outside. Especially if you have any kind of discernment of human personality at all. You can tell something's up. And Nehemiah is living and revealing himself in such a way that the king conducts the investigation. This can be nothing, he says, but sadness of heart. Why does your face look sad when you're not ill? This can be nothing but sadness of heart. So he knows now there's either a girl in it, or there's he lost money somewhere, or something went bad on him. Because his heart is bust up. Okay? Investigation. Second word, consternation. First phrase, last phrase of verse 2, I was very much afraid. I like this. I love this, actually. This is my favorite phrase so far in chapter 2. I was very much afraid. Because it reveals the down-to-earthness of Nehemiah. I told you at the beginning that he's an ordinary guy with an extraordinary task, right? He's not Mr. Fearless. He's not Mr. Successful. He's not Mr. Triumphant. He's not Mr. Never Have the Blues. He's just Mr. Nehemiah. And although he has been so much looking forward to the opportunity to say what he's about to say, when he gets the chance to say it, his tongue sticks to the roof of his mouth. He begins to perspire, and he is honest enough to say, the king said, so what's the deal? And I said, I'm scared. I'm scared. You see, seeking God in prayer doesn't remove our natural fears. It may allay our fears, but I'm not going to remove them because we still live in the world we live in. You see those rock climbers in Yorkshire, and they go up these great limestone faces of rock, and you say to yourself, my, they must be the bravest people in the world. They don't seem to be afraid. Talk to them. They're scared.